first item on the board, on the agenda, is approval of the July 17th study session minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up, approving the payment of the bills.
Move to pay the bills.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up, public comments. All of our-
Okay, you talked me into it. First, as you know, it was a great event. Everything went flawlessly. It was an awesome thing to be part of. If you wasn't there, I'm sorry for you, because it was awesome. The whole thing was. Second, there's a blood drive Friday. It's the red and blue. Anybody that doesn't know this, I'm sure Daryl does, but whenever you go and you sell plasma, that does not go to help people, it goes to help research. In order for it to go to people, it has to be donated. So doing a donation blood drive is a very important thing. So that's something I didn't know. The people I talked to, they're like, I had no idea. I thought whenever I sell my blood, it goes to help people. And that's not the case. So Friday, we're having a deal against the red and blue. I haven't decided which mark I'm gonna check yet, whether it's red or blue, whatever I give mine, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, go ahead and side with those hose draggers.
Did you have a head count on how many people they think came to town overall?
They expected between 2,500 and 4,000 people for a town our size, and we exceeded 6,000.
Wow.
So the turnout was huge. It was crazy. It was really neat to be part of it and to be there, to see everybody coming and going, and as many lives that were touched. It's real. It was, them veterans, they are looking for something like that. They're looking for us to reach out to them, you know, and help them. And they still got a lot of issues 50, 60 years later, you know, because of it. And we touched a lot of lives. I cannot tell you how many veterans I cried with. You know, it was just unreal. It was dozens and dozens, though. It wasn't just 2 or 3 or 4. It was lots.
I was amazed how many volunteers you had.
Can you believe it?
And we had more than half that come back on Sunday.
We had over 74 volunteers setting up when you were there. I counted 74. I'm sure there was more than that. Saturday, I started getting nervous. I'm like, man, we gotta have guys here to help. So I started saying it to a few guys, you know, hey, can you show up? We had over 50 show up Sunday. And that's guys that were able to be, guys and girls, that were able to be part of it through the week. And they came back, and I just got off the phone with one guy, and he said, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for setup. I had no idea, you know, what this really was. And I think that's how it is for most everybody that showed up. They didn't understand the magnitude of what this was. It was very humbling and awesome thing to be part of.
Anybody know how many motorcycles escorted into town?
We had, by my count, we had 164 bikes, we had 240 pieces in the escort, counting law enforcement, fire, and I went back and I counted my video a couple times. And we had 164 is what I had on motorcycles.
Yeah, I watched them from up by the high school.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess 1,000 because they just kept coming and coming.
It was coming down I-70, it was over 3 miles long coming down I-70. And I was at the back of it. And I turned off in Green Valley and came this way. And I know that by the time everybody got off at I-70, they were already up to 7 Highway, going down 40 Highway. You know, it was a sight. First time ever that a military helicopter led the escort, and that's above average for the turnout for the escort team also. But out of those 164 bikes, we did have 10 riders that fell out because it was hot. They got back, fire department had to help 10 people. None of them had to be transported, but they did have to cool them down and give them some stuff, you know, to get them up and going again. and we gave probably 3 of them rides home. Somebody else had to take their bike home, so, but it was hot, gosh, it was 115 heat index whenever we pulled in down there. And whenever it is 95 degrees out, you've got, 120, 130 degrees coming off the asphalt at you. So, those guys were in the heat. But
Spray park did anything.
Yes.
Pulling them off.
the fire department said, I'm glad you didn't turn it off, because we were gonna shut it off for the week, to keep the kids out and keep it somber and quiet. And they said, we're glad you didn't, because they used the spray park to cool down the guys. But it was just, the whole event was just really unreal. It was cool. Neat thing to have. Yep, thanks for all the participation for everybody that did, and I know life gets in the way sometimes, you can't get involved, but that was a pretty neat project.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Next up, old business, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the 2025 street improvement project. One of the things I observed is, looking at it right off the top, is that we're looking at 100,000, I think, right at 102,000. Currently, we've got 70,000 in the street fund. We do have about another 70 in Fund 20, and we've already paid the building payment, right? So we'd have a little time to recoup some of that if we wanted to go ahead. But that's gonna wipe out the street fund. I don't know, when do we get our next round of funding on that?
We get it on the 19th, and then, we get some from the state on the 7th of each month, and then the 19th we get the.
So then that bring in about 12 or 15,000?
Yeah, we get about 10 to 20 altogether, so there's usually about 10 to 12 for one, so. But one of the things I brought back for was, I know one of them, I think you, Mike, that was interested in just doing Hazel to Washington. We don't know what the cost of that was. And that was $36,462. And that's doing Hazel from Washington to the Dead End Street, which is that real bad area.
And that would be one, the only advantage really to doing it all at once is that you only pay one mobilization fee. Otherwise, they're gonna, I think it was 16,000 or something in there, so.
16,000 mobilization.
Yeah.
So I hate to pay that multiple times, but do what you gotta do from a funding standpoint. The good news is, God willing, we're not gonna be doing anything with snow for probably a couple months at least.
Well, even the 100,000 isn't. So this one says from Hazel to Adams, from Washington to Osage.
Yeah, well, that's the second one. That was across the street.
I know, and we say,
That was 43,000.
it says to Osage. You were gonna go all the way to Osage with that?
Yeah, that's
Adams all the way to Osage?
Yeah, right from,
Okay.
Adams, and then go past the funeral home up to Osage.
Yeah, that's a big jaunt there.
Yeah, and that was 43,000.
Because you think of, that's probably our second or third busiest business is the funeral home.
True.
There's a decent amount of traffic that goes up through there. But if they're at Hazel, that is like Beirut or something. It's just not good.
No, it's not. So how much is it altogether? Does it have a total here?
You do, all the project gotta be 101,968, well,
Yeah, that was the Aldermen.
but that's just an estimate, like I said, a project of this matter, either way, whether you pick the piece or do it as a whole, it's gonna have to go out for bidding. You never know what the number's gonna be.
What else do we use the street fund for?
Snow
Asphalt,
removal and
snow removal, asphalt,
pothole repair.
all over.
Is that gonna put us too short for that?
How are we setting on ice melt or?
We're gonna have to always say, we don't, how many salts, we always out of salt. We got like less than 20 tons of salt, I think it is, and then the tanks are full, because I think we got filled up at the end of last year, we got it full. Now this year I was gonna try something different, I was gonna get the salt that had the calcium chloride added in it too, also so we could kind of double whammy it, have it salt mixed in a little bit, so we just put it down and then.
Friendlier to country, yeah. It does put you tight if something, you know, I guess if one of the plows blows up or something, that's gonna be a risk if you go that tight.
And does it
We
affect-
do still have that, and I'm not, this is kind of in my back mind in case of emergency break glass, because we do have that, I think, what, the $50,000 CD, or no, I guess it's 25 for Fund 20, so. So we do have a $25,000 CD that'll be maturing shortly for.
Well, and also, we're gonna have to look at buying at least a 3/4 ton truck or something, because that truck that we used last couple of years for the actual beet juice is non-drivable anymore, but I was just gonna buy
Is
a
that the
used one.
Ford, or is
Yeah,
that-
the old Ford. I mean, we still got the whole system that we slide into it, but that truck can't drive it anymore, it's just sitting there.
We still have a
But I was looking
mechanic.
at a used one at that, you know.
Does the mechanic from the police department still work for us, for the
Yeah.
city? Yeah. Where's he work on our stuff at?
His shop.
He's got a shop at his house, and then he uses our lift here in the Sally Port.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
The other option, I guess, was to hold off, wait till the spring, let the fund kind of build up, see how we get through winter, and
Yeah,
then try to do it all at once.
Or, I mean, we might be able to do something in early fall, as we get a couple more boluses of cash.
I mean,
That would then maybe get the street fund up closer to 100,000, and then use the Fund 20 as a backup.
But, is there any kind of cheap, quick fix to some of these holes? Cause they're just too big. They're
We
too
can patch
big.
them.
They're too big.
It looks like you need to go in there and
We're gonna-
grade it down.
If we do, but if we're gonna wait till fall, we gotta at least patch them holes.
And fall's only, what, 45 days away or something.
Oh, I guess so. I was thinking spring. Okay.
Spring is the one after it snows, fall's the one.
Gotcha. Well,
My guys are going out tomorrow, they do an asphalt patch.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we get to go through, they go out tomorrow patch.
but we can't just talk about it. We gotta get it done. I
We
mean,
got a list of places you can patch, because I've noticed on all those new acres that they poured, right on the other side of a lot of those new acres, it's just all torn up.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is people are gonna hit that new acre, because it's at a different height, and start
One
breaking
of the
that
first
acre.
areas we're gonna hit tomorrow is, Millview Drive and Tarzan Lane, that's pretty bad, and then we got Hazel, if we at least do something temporary to fill those in, and we got, I just had in mind, East Jefferson. Those are the three worst roads right now. I mean, it's just part of Zero, but those are the.
Yeah, we go a good way of compacting it out and put the asphalt down.
Yeah, you tack it with tamper,
That-
mechanical tamper.
yeah, but like Dalton said, it really don't work that
Yeah,
way.
he said a tamper would jump, didn't he?
He didn't say, he didn't
Oh,
say,
brand new?
Yes,
he
brand new
didn't say,
tamper. Oh, okay.
he didn't say the tampering, Jeff. He said it doesn't work that well. And, but we've got that roller out there.
That's what I was wondering, is do we have?
If we pull it out, it's heavy enough to do it. But you gotta pull it out of
Do
the
we have a
weeds.
trailer that you can put it on, or a way of getting it there?
They got trailers. They got a winch on one, don't they?
No.
No?
A lot of that. I could grab the guys tomorrow and help them patch too, show them, because Dalton still knew that it, that's a brand new tamper with it, and that's what we used it, and then,
Well,
for the city.
I wonder if there's a way that they could, hook it to the Bobcat.
There's a way, you have to weld a plate, Dalton said you have to weld a plate, he could design one and weld it, but,
Dalton can do that?
yeah, he's a
For
welder,
the tamper or for the roller?
for the roller.
The roller.
That tamper, sure, I take him out, I'll go out with him tomorrow, other than we're close.
I can see the tamper being good for like potholes, but I think if you're doing a section, you're better off rolling. But I've just been,
You
I'm
got
an
like,
expert because I've been sitting on 24
Well, I
for.
mean, in worst case scenario,
They
worst
let
case,
them work.
they could go with the roller, actually roller, like we did for the back alley back here
Yeah.
from Oak Grove Window, hook up to the trailer, and, you know, one could be pulling the asphalt cutter, one could be pulling the roller.
what do the
roll it
rollers
off.
cost to rent?
It was minimal, I mean,
Yeah, 'cause I mean-
Didn't you say we have one?
Well, ours is on a hitch, you got to pull it or push it.
It was designed for a tractor.
But
They
it's
actually got two drum rolls that we rented from Oco when we did the back alley.
But it is heavy duty roller though.
We could do the whole
got
thing, like all of.
It's got like half-inch steel around it, it's heavy.
Yeah, because I think that would be the answer over there, especially if we're gonna do some interim.
Yeah.
But like on Hazel, there's a lot of them close together, it would
Yeah.
probably pay to rent that.
That's the
roller.
same, and same thing with, Millview Drive and Tom,
Yeah.
it's the same way, where
Faster.
they could probably basically just do.
Faster, too.
Just
Just say, hey, we're gonna do this many holes, you know.
And was this chip seal or was this like a 4-inch asphalt on the
But it's 2 inch.
It's 2 inch.
And uneven areas, so it would be 4 inch base and uneven areas, and then a 2 inch top. It's the same thing they did on Park Avenue last year.
And I've been on it, but I didn't pay attention. Is that holding up pretty well?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Do they blow those chuck holes out, and put
Yeah.
oil down in them? Okay.
You got a backpack, they blow it out and spray it down, and
So do we want to hold until we get a little more cash on hand and then that way we can go big and then in the near term we'll have the public works focus?
Yeah, but I'd like to count how many holes you patch, you know, each meeting.
yeah, we do, yeah, they keep track of it, the tonnage.
Yeah. Also, sorry, one more thing.
Okay.
It's not part of that, what about the grindings for that back alley behind?
We still got a big pile at the shop. We just-
Is there any way we can get that done like we did over
Yeah,
here?
like I said, the last couple weeks have been concentrating on the
Right.
meters, so.
How's that coming?
We got it, they got it all done, but you gotta realize that we put the system in all at one time. So everything's going out at one time. They had it all down, they had down to like 16, but those are 16 that was buried they couldn't find. That wasn't had a crew stick around, my guys are trained. Now we're back up to 40, 50 because some more are going out, but the guys are working on it, like Don started working on today. If both guys together, they can do 20 a day, so in 2 more days, they can get it done. But we are at 95% recording right.
But we have competing interests because if they're patching potholes, they're not
Yeah.
replacing meters. But, okay.
But next
By
thing,
next meeting,
you know,
we
like I
have
said-
potholes, they'll extend the meters real
It hasn't grown all week, so we stay right at 50, so that's a good sign. You know, it's not like more added on to it, but yeah, when they left, when the guys from Texas left, we was down to 16 meters. Those are the ones that were buried and couldn't find them.
Remember, it's not street fund, or is it sewer?
Yeah.
I can ask.
That was the question, I just wanted to make sure on the water sewer fund, I saw there was a substantial bounce, that was the deposited loan
Yeah.
fund, so.
I got it separated on the spreadsheet, so I know exactly, I'm not touching, you know, oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks nice, I've got 900,000 in there.
So, next up, new business. Mr. Meyer.
Bill number 2505 is an ordinance number 1100, an ordinance of the City of Buckner, Missouri for the purpose of establishing a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain elected officials. First reading of bill number 2505. This is just standard we have to do every year.
Second.
Who, I'm sorry, Jimmy?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Second reading.
Bill number 2505 is ordinance number 1100, an ordinance of the City of Buckner, Missouri for the purpose of establishing a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain elected officials. Second reading, Council Bill 2505.
Move to approve. Any discussion?
Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Alderman Fry?
Aye.
Alderman Ross?
Aye.
Alderman Lockout?
Aye.
Alderman Lewis?
I think we're splitting away. Next up, elected officials' comments.
No, yeah, how are we doing on the sewer treatment plant as far as pumps and stuff?
we finally got, the pumps, we had to call in a company, excuse me, the two pumps down there, the main lift station were clogged up again. So we called the company in, we had another pump it back up to the Pit Oaks building. And then we hired another company to come in, and they actually sucked it all out, had a big vacuum machine, and sucked all the grease and all the stuff out of it, got it all the way down. So our goal is now is pumping on its own. And then, once they get this week they put the drain from the reed beds into the lift station, backfilling it, and once they get that portion done, then we're gonna have that second truck come back out, finish sucking the bottom of the pit out, and then they gotta have the pump company come out and we clean those pumps again because they get clogged up again.
Were all our pumps operating?
Now they are.
We were talked quite a while back that we were gonna have a backup pump for the Echo Ridge. Did we ever do that?
Not yet.
So, is it operating on one pump?
No, it's got.
So it's got two that are operating?
Yeah, they're leading lag.
So if one goes down, that one still works, but we don't have a spare yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Are we waiting on money for
Yeah,
that?
kind of, that time was kind of low, but yeah,
Okay,
it's slowly building back up.
all right.
And I don't know if this is the right time, but that's, Mr. Myers here. We've had some issues with our wastewater treatment plant being sterilized by what appears to be runoff from the Great Southern Woods plant, and I didn't know.
I spoke with them today. Their city attorney and I have their attorney and I have a really good relationship. We've worked on the pilot how many years ago. And so when Joe sent the letter and the information, I sent it straight to him. He called me right up and said, let's talk. And he had his operations guy on the phone, and he swore up and down that they are not hooked up to our sewer line. The only thing on our sewer line is the restrooms, and that's it. So they don't waste a drop of that tank mix. They use it and then they reuse it, and it's really expensive, and so it can't be anything from them. And so I told that to Joe, and Joe has explained to me how we got the samples, which is, as I understand it, at the end of their service line is where we took the sample. So the only thing in that line was coming from them, and that's where we got all the contamination. So tomorrow I will reach back to him, and because I told him I was having a meeting tonight and I would find out more detail. And so they offered a tour, an inspection, whatever you guys want to do. You know, we want to be, you know, good partners with the city. So if there's a problem, we'll figure it out. But we do. They believe that they are not hooked onto our line. Let's put it that
Some of
way.
the agents that showed up in the lab reports would be consistent with preservatives that they would use on wood. Did not.
Yeah, they talked about that, but they said, yes, you would think so, but some of those chemicals we don't use. So they were even saying that the arsenic one, yeah, we don't even use that. So it wouldn't be coming from us.
Is he the same manager that was there before it became Yellowwood?
I don't know.
Is it possible that they buried some tanks that might be leaching out from when they were using arsenic there?
Well, you wouldn't.
Because they used to.
Yeah.
I think when they first
But
opened
that wouldn't
up.
be in the line.
Right, that wouldn't get in. That would just leach into the ground. It
Yeah.
wouldn't get into
But
our
I'm just
sewer line.
I'm just throwing stuff
Yeah,
out.
sure.
But the other thought was if by any chance, I mean, if we've taken it off that line, it gets pretty hard
Where
to
it's-
clear them, but there's the gentleman down here that, because I'm thinking there's arsenic in creosote, and the fellow over here on North Hudson, I think it is, that has stuff that he sprays off his trucks and puts down the sewer occasionally.
Like I said, this sample was taken off their line only.
Good point though.
But like I was explaining to Steve, in the pit that it comes in at, our line comes in way back here, and then they got a solo tap line that comes in, I would say at least 7 feet in front of our line. And it's about 3 feet off the ground. It's just a dedicated line just from them, and it comes down. We tied the bucket right there, zip tied it in, and it stands about 3 feet off the ground, off the base of the structure, so, I mean,
There's
that's where
no-
the stamp was taken
But
from.
there's, yeah, there's
So
no way. you
there's
can
no
dis-
way, what I'm getting at, there's no way our stuff got mixed.
No way you can
up.
dispute it.
Well, we'll find out. The good news is, they don't think they're doing it, but they were more than willing to, let's talk about it, let's figure it out, whatever has happened. If it is coming from them, it's unintentional. So let's, they were more than willing to figure it out, but mostly because they think they're on the right side. So, it's really easy. No, not me, come on and look. So we'll find
Yeah,
out.
say if they're willing to let us inspect.
Right,
then
you bet.
Let's take them.
Yeah,
up on it.
or-
I mean,
Well, or let's
Put it on
show
them.
where we did our test.
Yeah, and
show
put it
them-
on them to say, well,
This is
then
where it
how did
came
it get
from.
here?
Yeah.
Then,
Correct.
yeah,
So that's the report, Mr. Mayor.
okay.
And everybody may know this, the reason that's important is because it's killing the bacteria in the system so that it's not degrading and breaking down. And it will ultimately, with the new system, will kill the reeds. That is the reason we're doing this, is to kind of get rid of having to have that sludge hauled off. And so we've had to buy sludge
No
three
bacteria,
times now
yeah.
in Blue Springs. And so
What's that cost?
Well, we get the sludge for free, because it's
Yeah.
just really
Oh, okay.
sludge, but we have to have a shaker truck haul it in for us.
Yeah.
So that costs us $3,000 each time, and we're gonna have to do, once we get this situation taken care of, we're gonna have to get another truck of bugs in to get the plant going. Because right now, the plant is dead. There's nothing in the tank. No microorganisms whatsoever. It's dead. So we don't wanna buy any more sludge until we get this taken care of. And like I said, I got a call from the company that had the reeds, and they said, they don't wanna give us plants yet until we get taken care of it. They said it was going.
Wow, well, we can't. How long can this take?
I don't know.
I mean, going back and forth, how long? could this-
Well, I mean, quite honestly, I think the answer is, guys, we're gonna meet, and we wanna meet this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because the other option is, we're gonna turn you off.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that is the option.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
you won't be able to flush anymore, because we are going to turn you off. So we do have the trump card, so to speak, but no one wants to do that.
Yeah.
That we're not, and I truly did believe, I mean, they were as adamant as they could be, not us, you guys, it couldn't be us. So we'll find out.
Very good, thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Jones?
I just want to reiterate kudos to the park board, specifically Raquel, Tony, for a great job. The Vietnam era war was my era. I was either going to a wedding or a funeral. That time, I counted a total of 15 Christmas kids, 7 out of my class, that were on that board. There's a lot of things I learned. Those folks that put on their talks that told various things about what was going on with just outstanding. It was amazing on what you thought you knew, but you didn't have the whole picture, and they did a great job of telling folks how it went. I was there a total of 4 times. Sherry was there 6. We had friends coming in from Blue Springs especially, and wanted us to go down with them. So it was a wonderful event, and so happy to see some nice things happening here in town. I was kind of let down with the news folks. Didn't get much help from them other than they advertised a little bit at the kickoff.
Right. Yeah, we paid for quite a bit of advertising. Doing it on TV is very expensive. We had Channel 4, 5 and 9, and 41 there, but all they did was, like you said, the preliminary, they didn't do a lot. But one thing that is kind of neat that I think is going to come out of this, don't hold me to it, this is just what I'm hearing. Donna Pittman is Fort Osage graduate.
Yep.
She was not here this week because she was in Utah doing a story on Sharon Lane. Sharon Lane is the only female that got killed in action in Vietnam. There's 8 women on the wall. She is the only one that was killed in action. So she's doing a documentary that's going to be a 1-hour documentary on Channel 9. Channel 9 media guys were down here taking a lot of footage, and it looks like our footage is going to be in her documentary. So that's a really cool thing, you know, if we can be part of that, but that's gonna air in October. So we wanna watch for that, and I think that we will be in that documentary in a few areas. But the Examiner, you know, we had them down a couple times, they were there 3 times, I think, actually. But it is, and I talked to the Channel 9 guy and the Channel 4 guy, and you pull up on the internet, somebody just got killed in Brookside. Well, we're all over that, but we have something like this out here, nobody's even saying a word
Yeah.
about it. You know, and that's sad that that's how it is, but people want blood, they don't want something like that history and something that's good for the country. Yep, yeah, I gotta see Sherry, she was loving it, she was a big
Yeah.
part of it, she got to really see a lot of things on those tours. We had 3 people, typically you only have 2 people that comes with, from DC, and we had 3, fortunately, and they were given tours pretty much nonstop, you know, every hour or so they give a tour, and as soon as they would start talking, people would just come to them.
Yep.
You know, they'd start out with 6 or 8 or 10, they'd end up with 30 people.
Yep.
Following them, listening to that tour, and getting to hear that, I mean, that was, if that didn't touch you, there's something wrong with you.
There was one lady that was, I was a history teacher, and she got talking about the Hanoi Hilton,
Mhm.
and that they had worked out their own way to talk by the dots and the dashes. And she said, I taught that to my students, and she said that was a mistake because they were sending messages to one another during the class.
Right, yeah. Well, Mrs. Summers, Linda Summers, she took her class there, I don't remember how many times, but lots of times. And she came there and listened to the tour, whatever she showed up, oh, I'd go every year, you know, I know all about it. Well, she learned some things about it. Whenever you go to DC, you get to see the wall and you get to do a little bit of reading, you know. But that mobile education center, it has so much information in it that you don't get in DC. And it had a lot of really, really neat stuff that people left at the wall and stories that went along with it. It was neat. I don't know how many people, again, come up and they said, oh yeah, I helped with the wall in Blue Springs a few years ago. Well, that was 15 years ago. That was in 2010. And the neat part about that is, in 15 years, we're gonna say, you remember a couple years ago whenever the wall was here? You know, but it was just that kind of an experience to where there's a lot of memories made.
You guys had the park looking really good, and
We worked
the
hard.
bridge was a nice touch.
Yep.
Very nice touch.
Yep. They told me that we couldn't have it on the ball field because we didn't have access. And I said, I'll build a bridge. And they said, how are you gonna do that? I said, yeah. So Monday at 10 o'clock, Yellowwood donated $3,000 of lumber. And by Wednesday, the bridge was done. So bridge is 12 foot wide and 42 foot long.
Yes.
So it's a neat touch. It looks so cool there, I hate to take it out now, but we've got places in the park that we're gonna repurpose it for the disc golf. We've got some ditches to get over for the disc golf, so we're gonna cut that bridge into 4 pieces and be able to repurpose it around the park. And then we will put, donated by Yellowwood, for the wall that heals on the bridge, you know, in those different areas. So it'll be there for years to come.
I give a thank you if we haven't already done to Yellowwood for their donation.
Yeah. We're making some different things that all of our sponsors, you know, now we gotta follow up with everybody, and that'll take the next several weeks. But we're gonna send all of our sponsors and donors, you know, a thank you card and kind of write a little story about what it did for our community. And it's just so neat to see that many different types of people come together to help put it up and take it down. It didn't matter, you know, if you were a CEO or if you were working down here at Russell White's garage, you know, I mean, we had guys from every walk of life, and they were just happy to be there. It was, kids, teenagers, numerous teenagers that come in, and they were there helping just right beside us, you know. It was a good community event.
You just had to follow the rules.
Huh?
You just had to follow the rules.
You had to follow the rules. You were carrying it wrong, Ruben. No, turn your hand around. You pick up a pail, no, you gotta turn your hand like this.
Yeah, no.
You know,
I couldn't figure out how to get my elbow to bend like that.
Right, exactly.
Don't go through the brakes.
And then I stepped through the frame and he said, "Did you walk through my wall?" I said, "No, sir, you missaw me." And I completely forgot about it because I needed something on that side of the wall.
Or they get ahead of them and say, oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jennifer, our head coordinator, she, at the end, she gave us a coin that not everyone gets,
Yeah.
because of the job we did. So
Yeah. She
they're
did.
pretty surprised.
They
at
were-
what we could do.
They were really scared that we were gonna not have the volunteers we needed. Well, we ended up with over 250 volunteers. And, you know, every time they'd give us an obstacle, we'd get over it or around it. And that's the reason it ended up coming here, because we were not on the list for them to come. And then finally, she said, okay, we're gonna try it. And it worked out. And we've been reading back on some of the other cities that have had it, and they've had problems, you know, in the small towns. It's hard to get enough people. We just didn't have that. So with all that being said, the coin she's talking about, you know, we're opening up the time capsule this year, and then we're gonna make another time capsule. We're gonna be able to put that coin in there, and we're gonna be able to put the newspaper articles in there and the brochures. So in 50 years, somebody's gonna open that time capsule and be able to see the stuff that we did in 2025.
How long's this one been in
That'll,
there? How long
Since 75.
we opened up,
Since 75.
the time capsule that we've got right now is a 25-year and a 50-year combined.
Oh, wow.
In 2000, they did another time capsule, but in 1975, that's the original one. And it's got some neat stuff in it from 1975.
When is that gonna be?
That'll be at the festival this year. We'll be doing that Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock is scheduled for it. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna invite people to bring stuff back and put stuff in it. What's neat is in 2000, a lot of people put letters in to their kids and grandkids.
Oh, wow.
My grandmother in 2000 put letters in it to her great grandkids. So we get to open those. I got to give those to my son and then to my nieces and nephews. So they'll get to open that. That's a pretty cool thing. She died in 03. So there's some pretty neat stuff that'll be going on at the festival this year. And do we have time for more public comment, I guess, if you will?
You're past. You're past time. You may have drifted way past our agenda.
Did I use my 3 minutes?
We gotta focus back, and
That's
we are
fine.
drifting way far.
That's right. We can talk after the meeting. Yep.
So, so just to kind of wrap up again is, thanks to the parks folks, but all the folks out in the community that did step up and volunteer. I pulled in down there, you know, thought it was they were selling trucks, there was pickups everywhere, so, thank you again for the work everyone done, and, that we take a motion